So, did Newton change your life?
I think all the films kind of changed my life a little. Uh, yes, Newton also in some way, but just Newton would be my answer would be no, because all the films, if we start from Delhi in a Day, which was my first film. No, it's a feature film, which was my first film. That kind of got me the second film, which was the Telugu and Malayalam film, Na Bangaru Talli. And then the Sri Lankan film happened. So in a way, it's kind of it's like a rolling process that all the films changed me as a human being, as an artist, also changed my life in some way.
It might be a little elaborate question, but it's a very important one from my end. Okay, I want to pluck two scenes from two different movies, and there is a lot common between those two scenes. Even your reaction to what happens there. Okay, one is of course With You Without You, your Sri Lankan film, and the other is Meri Pyari Prime Minister. In the Sri Lankan film, when Fernando's character confesses to you that his men were involved in assaulting a Tamil woman, you are playing a Tamil character in that. That is one scene. And herein, your character itself has been a victim of assault. What is common here is not just the factor of assault, but also the fact that how your reaction is in these two scenes. If you see, there is, for the next 10 minutes in both the films, you don't speak. In With You Without You, of course, your eyes go wide and it's terrifying, and then you get those seizures. And then you are on your path to go down, your character, I mean. Whereas in Mere Pyare Prime Minister, it is you locking yourself into the room. So the rage is more on the inside. You're not really shouting or crying it out. It's very internalized. ये मैं सवाल इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे समझना है कि ये जो सीन्स है ये इतने पावरफुल सीन्स है, ये इतने इम्पैक्टफुल सीन्स है कि इट मेड मी पॉज द मूवी, राइट. व्हाट आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड इज कि ये सीन्स पेपर पे कैसे लिखे गए थे और फिर इसको ऐसे पर्टिकुलर वे में इवन विदाउट डायलॉग्स इतना इम्पैक्टफुली परफॉर्म करने में क्या लगा, इफ यू रिमेंबर. आई मीन
Yeah, I mean, With You Without You is one of the most beautiful script that I have received in my life, and I still have the copy of it signed by Prasanna sir. It's beautifully written script, very nuanced, and Selvi's character, I mean, I'm an Indian girl and I play a Sri Lankan Tamil minority in it. And I could only, I don't know, but people have asked me this question that how did you relate with the suppression, or how did you relate with the violence that a Sri Lankan Tamil minority girl must have experienced? And I think my answer was that suppression का politics अलग हो सकता है, मगर suppression is suppression in whichever culture, language, and it has no उसका कोई ये, yeah, exactly. So it you cannot look at it. You can add the politics, the layers of the politics of the gender or the community could be different, but what you feel, what a suppressed person feels, that's universal. And that's probably what happened while doing Selvi. The scenes were already beautifully written, and I think I personally I love it when characters don't speak. That's my personal preference as an artist, as an actor, also as a director. I like people.
want your actors to speak more.
Yes, I like them to, in real life as well, we don't talk a lot, no? We don't we don't do perform scenes. We just talk, we just exist. So that's something that is my personal choice or preference. And it's easy for me to emote with my body, with my expressions, with my face, than to talk and express. So it was easy to express the rage or that suppression. And with Mere Pyare Prime Minister, again, I have not been assaulted to that level, to that degree, or to that intensity. uh, of Sargam from Mere Pyare Prime Minister, but I have been subjected to violence while I was a girl, or while I was traveling from Pune University to back to Nashik, or when I was in Delhi, or I have seen or have felt the fear as well. So, as an actor, that's what you do. You kind of pick up all these things and then you magnify them and use it. Uh, what it takes, I think it takes life. It takes absolute chi, your life energy, uh, to perform these scenes. And it did take a lot of significant amount of my life, because after With You Without You, uh, it also pushed me into a very long depression, which I realized after 3-4 years that, oh, the reason that I was so depressed, there were personal reasons for it as well as an artist, but also doing certain roles and not knowing how to come out of it. Uh, that was also something, a big reason. Mere Pyare Prime Minister, I think by the time Mere Pyare Prime Minister happened, I had a better control over the craft, and also my exit strategies with the character were more in place. I was more mature as an actor, so it didn't affect me so much. But With You Without You, Na Bangaru Talli were few films which affected me a lot. So I think as an actor, I have better exit strategies. Also have better understanding of the craft, uh, and more skills to approach a character and also to get out of it.
Do you think that will help you as a director as well to understand your actors better?
Yes. In NSD, of course, I did study direction, and I didn't do acting at all. I didn't study acting anywhere else. So that's why I feel ki it's a very, I learned a lot of things on the set. And that's why I kind of kept on very immature approach to acting. And that's why I suffered as well a lot. But as a director, and all the years of acting, I know how to take care of my actors, how to get the best out of them, and also how to make sure that they do not get damaged, or they do not carry it back to their personal lives. Yes.
Take me through that depression phase, if I may push you a little there, because I believe that what we see as audience is that अगर एक एक्टर के लाइफ का एक ज़िंदगी भर का कोई बैगेज होता है तो वो हमको ऐसा दिखता है, वो होता है थोड़ी सी एंजाइटी, थोड़ी सी इनसिक्योरिटी, और एक द नीड फॉर वैलिडेशन, राइट? एंड दिस, इसके बारे में सोच के एज इंडिविजुअल्स हु आर नॉट इनटू फिल्म्स, एक हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन में हमको डर लगने लग जाता है. So we can't really imagine, or personally I can't really imagine being in those shoes and experiencing it, but you have. Could you just take us through that?
Yeah. I mean, I think in every time that I hear, or when the news comes of an actor killing herself or himself, and then people very randomly talk about it, that, oh, this must have happened, oh, that must have happened, this problem, that problem. And I remember shutting people down and telling them that, guys, you have no idea about what happens. Actors are probably the most vulnerable creatures on the earth. And after that, writers. I will put writers after that. But if you look at an actor का सब कुछ stake पे है. Like how you look, how you dress, how your eyes are, how your nose is, how your lips are. I mean, I have been, in the beginning when I started acting, I was rejected and asked to correct a lot of things in me physically. and which impacted me so much. And it took me a while just to accept my body, my skin tone, everything about me. I disliked myself so much because there are certain beauty standards in the society, and actors, they need to keep, you know, fitting into it, and they cannot fall short on that. So the amount of anxiety, insecurity that an actor faces is a lot, is a lot. Of course, you also see a lot of perks of this glamour and the power position that they have. But there is a lot also which is at the back. Yeah, yeah. Thankfully, in the last few years, because of the OTT, because of the social media space, uh, the distance of this, you know, the stars and the audience का जो distance था वो कम हुआ है. People are more closer, and the audience or the fans or the following look at you as human beings, normal people, जिनके pimples भी आते हैं, जिनको सर दर्द भी होता है, जिनको सर्दी जुकाम भी होता है, they also get depressed like most of us. I think depression, talking about depression, it's a very normal thing, and it's a characteristic of being human. If we look at evolution as one of the characteristic of mankind, depression, we should look at depression also as that. All of us go through the depression or whatever you want to call it. It's not a bad or a dark thing. That's something that I personally have understood. If you study it, if you understand it, if you know the reasons of it, that's kind of a key for your next version, for you to evolve. Because any sign of depression means that your previous set of ideas, beliefs, anything that you were using as a human being to kind of, you know, roam around and follow into this system or the matrix, they're not serving you anymore. They're falling short. So you need to update this version. And that's how I look at depression. In the beginning, of course, I had no help. I had no understanding of it. I just knew that I'm not good, or I'm not enough, or everything that is around me, I lost interest in that. But I studied my depression by myself. I read, I kept journaling, I kept taking notes, I kept following my mood swings or the triggers that, that kind of pulled me down. I wish I would have had some help, or I wish I could have spoken about it with my family, or क्योंकि मैं आधा टाइम तो मैं सोचती थी कि मैं क्या बताऊंगी मम्मी पापा को, उनको क्या बताऊंगी कि मैं आई एम नॉट हैप्पी, और आई फील सैड, और आई हैव नो इंटरेस्ट इन डूइंग माई वर्क, बिकॉज जस्ट a month ago or few days ago, I would have received a national award or an IFFI award, and I was in a deep depression during those times. So on superficial level, everything was great, but andar se it was so empty and dark that nobody could have believed it. So it is an alienating process, and 15 years ago, I think it was even more difficult to talk about it. And now that we are so open and we can talk about it, I think it's good, the way we feel free. We feel that, okay, mental health is something we need to be aware of. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's one of the good thing about social media.
Are you at a much better place right now mentally than what you were before?
Yes, a lot. I mean, if not for the depression, I would not have gone into finding ways to deal with it, because that's something that I understood, that at the end of it, you also get bored with the depression. I remember one morning I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, I'm bored with this now. I've been depressed for 2.5, 3 years. I want to change this. And I started traveling. I went, I studied Buddhism, and then I took Mahayana Buddhism, and I studied the philosophy for 3, 4 years. Uh, so if not for that, I went into a drastic change in my lifestyle. From acquiring a lot of things in my life, I went to just having 2 shirts and 2 jeans and a backpack, and just having 20 items in my backpack. So overall, I had nothing with me but just 20 things that I could, and I knew that, yeah, this is enough for me to live very happily and content. So depression has been my one of my biggest guru. That's for sure.
Let's lighten things a little. Yeah. You worked with Rajnikant in Kala, right? What is it that makes him who he is? What makes Rajnikant so special?
I think all the years of practice of you know uh, yeah, whoever he is, it is because of his hard work and the way he conducts himself and the way he has studied himself. He is one of the most self-aware person that I have come across, and it has nothing to do with spirituality or fame or anything. Again, it's what he did. He studied himself. He studied his mind, how it works, uh, and that's when the self-awareness comes, and it's magical. Yeah, I mean, Rajni sir is one of those people that they used to, like, in myths, they used to say कि कृष्ण भगवान जब किसी गांव में आते थे तो 10 कोस के गाँव में पता चलता था कि ओके कृष्ण भगवान आए हैं. So it's kind of similar when Rajni sir is on set. His aura is so strong that, yeah, the entire set will know that he's here. The boss is here. And when he leaves, the boss is not here. The boss has left the set. So before going on set, before meeting him, I was like this. Oh, I need to see this. What is this? But when I went and I saw him, uh, he was every single bit of what people talk about him. He's humble. He and not show off humble. He's like really humble, very grounded, and very hardworking. I remember one of the night he had some 102 or 3 temperature, and during the shoot, it was like a night, and this man slept on a couch, didn't go to the vanity, and he said, just wake me up when the shot is ready. Okay, I'll not go inside the vanity, I'll stay here. And he finished his, all the shots. He finished. He could have cancelled the shoot, but he didn't. He worked throughout the night, and 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when we finished, he went back home. So that's something that, when I looked at him and I was like, this is, I was very privileged to see him actually doing the magic. Yeah.
What I want to ask you is, one second. Yeah. Now, this is related this is beyond films, but still related to films a little bit. I want to talk to you about 2 personalities which you might be very close to as a Maharashtrian, right? 2 personalities जिनको लोग एक conflicted नज़र से देखते हैं, but deep down they're very similar. Firstly, you have played, as you stated before, you've represented the oppressed communities on several occasions on screen. I want to understand, what is your idea of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar?
Oh, wow. I think I haven't studied him enough to talk anything, and if I have to say anything, that I just know that he has studied a lot. He did study a lot, and the only connection that I know was the reason that he chose Buddhism, because I studied Buddhism and he did as well. That kind of made me realize that why he would probably choose Buddhism to have a philosophy, uh, because it's very scientific. It it doesn't entertain anything which is up there as a god. It is the only philosophy. I won't call it a religion because it is not supposed to be a religion. It is supposed to be a philosophy to live your life according to. So yes, his choice of taking up Buddhism was an absolute brilliant, intelligent choice of the man he was himself.
Secondly, I saw this beautiful portrait of, this is the second personality, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who is close to every Maharashtrian's heart, irrespective of their caste, religion, etc. What is your concept of Chhatrapati Shivaji?
Whatever little that I know of Maharaj, I know uh, how a good king should be, and what were his qualities, and these are stories, like these are very folk tales which I picked up as a kid, that even when uh, Rayat, Praja, like his subjects, were of all, there were all caste and there were all kinds of people. And he respected each one of them. Uh, he, uh, he respected and he understood each person playing its part in the society, and he was very intelligent about it. He didn't look at it in any hierarchical way. uh, and also, I still remember like this, whenever he would, whenever there would be people like, okay, for example, Shivaji Maharaj, whenever we think of Shivaji Maharaj, we think of enemies as Mughals, as Muslims, that okay, we were fighting against Mughals, he was fighting against Mughals. But the folk tales which we hear, and the tales that we hear about him, that how he would make sure that the women and the kids and the children were safe, uh, regardless of their, if they were Hindus or Muslims, uh, kind of made me realize that, oh, that's how a king should be. He is full of compassion, he's full of intelligence, and he is educated in that cultural context. And he was everything. He was exactly everything that an ideal king, an ideal leader should be. So that's Shivaji Maharaj for me.
Finally, I can't let this interview finish without asking the hottest question of the town, right? क्या मसला क्या चल रहा है बॉलीवुड के साथ? नहीं, हम क्या हम पे ट्रस्ट कम हो रहा है? क्या हम लोगों को अंडर एस्टिमेट, व्हेन आई से हम आई मीन द ऑडियंस, या फिर इज देयर लैक ऑफ कनेक्ट? यू टॉक्ड अबाउट बीन एक्टर्स बीन इंटेलिजेंट एंड बीन सोशली अवेयर, क्या वो नहीं हो रहा है? एंड आई एम आस्किंग दिस specifically in regards to the Hindi film industry, because other film industry is not like they're doing great, but they're at least doing all right.
या आई मीन, मसला ये है कि ऑडियंस बहुत स्मार्ट थी और रहेगी और भी होने वाली है. फिल्म मेकर्स नहीं स्मार्ट हो रहे हैं, और मे बी दे स्टिल बिलीव दैट that it's okay, we can serve something which is mediocre, and it's okay. Sorry guys, payback time. Not happening. क्योंकि ऑडियंस गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स भी देख रही है, क्योंकि ऑडियंस क्राउन भी देख रही है, और ऑडियंस सब कुछ जो इंडियन कंटेंट जो भी बन रहा है वो भी देख रही है. सो द क्वालिटी, द exposure is so high, and so is the awareness of the quality of the writing craft, of the performances. So you cannot serve anything which is malnourished, which is not great. And that's why probably all these big films are crashing. Kind of, I feel a little bit, it's a payback time, because you cannot think of audience as stupid kids. Yes, you cannot. you have to owe them the respect that these are minds, and collectively these are the minds that we are serving stories to. So we need to make sure that we take this in account, and we work on the basic thing, which in Bollywood or in Indian cinema, nobody gives any respect to: the development, the script development. People go on the floor with something scribbled in 50 pages as the first draft, and then they have the means to waste that money and make a very shitty film. So that is going to change. That is changing.
So a normal suggestion or simple suggestion would be just to get the basics right.
Just to get the basics right, give your script writers the due credit and give
Oh, I can see
time.
the writer in you speak now.
Yes, exactly. And the writer in me is now even more excited, because now we know the power of a good script. And we look at the West and we want to copy them, but we do not copy them in the right things. We need to copy them into the development. They take years and months of research and process of developing a script. Like for a synopsis, to get a synopsis right, it takes a long time. But these things are just not given any credit in an Indian film industry. Please subscribe NewsHamster and watch this very unfiltered, candid interview of mine. Thank you.